Can you believe it? There are some Burnley fans that say, forget the title, forget the record, just lose to Millwall just to pee off Blackburn Rovers. Welcome back to where Clarets walk. Hope you are good. This week we're talking about that big win against QPR. The record is on. We've equaled it. We're about to beat it this weekend at Millwall, and the title is potentially there as well. We have Dan, Jordan, and Connor back with us to give their penultimate views on this season. One more to go, fellas, and then it'll be a Premier League terrace talk next year. Right, Dan, the record is there. We spoke about it last week. You've now equaled Port Vale's record of 30 clean sheets in one season. Of course, they did it 60 or 70 odd years ago. One more. Can it be done?
Oh, it can be done. It can be done. It's not going to be relatively easily because the sad scenario has presented itself that Millwall have got something to play for. So and they, I think, have to get a positive result. So it's not going to be as easy as it was on Saturday. I mean, we said last week we thought that QPR could be a cakewalk. They're going to be on the beach, and it proved to be. Whereas with Millwall now, they've got all sorts riding on this. I think there are 4 or 5 teams who can all get into that last spot, dependent on the Bristol game, last 2 spots. I think we'll do it, but it's going to be difficult. It's going to be arguably one of the more toughest games we're going to face now because Millwall have got a lot playing for it, and they're the only team psychologically. Last team to beat us were Millwall. Last game of the season, Millwall. It's going to be interesting, isn't it?
It certainly is. Yeah, back in November when you went to the Den, I think it was a midweek Wednesday game, wasn't it, Jordan? Where you succumbed to. They beat Leeds on the Sunday, then they went and beat you. And that's the last time you've lost. I mean, no real Burnley fan wants to lie down just for the sakes of Blackburn not getting in the playoffs, surely, Jordan.
No, so as I mentioned, I'm a spiteful man when I want to be, and I'd be so up for just rolling over just so they don't get it. But let's talk on a professional term. Let's put our statement on. It's back-to-back 100 points. I don't know if that's been done before. Is that another record we're breaking? Who knows? And it would be nice to do back-to-back titles. So maybe the spiteful part we'll just leave to the side for a minute. Let's get the full 100 points. Let's hope Leeds have somewhat of a calamity, even a draw. And let's raise that title again, because I feel for what has presented itself from the start of the season up to now, if anyone deserves it, you can say what you want about Leeds. Fair enough. The calibre of player they've got, fantastic. You say they deserve it, but I think with what's happened to us, we've got to deserve it more, surely.
Yeah, there's no cup for second, is there, Connor? That's the thing.
Oh, did you say me? Also, my Wi-Fi cut out then. Yeah, but to be fair, last week Dan literally said, "Oh well, if we beat QPR on Saturday, then we'll all care about the title." We didn't care about it last week. But why not?
I sound nothing like that, Connor. That's a terrible impression. If we sound like blah, blah,
blah. Why not go for it? Why not go for it at the end of the day? We've got nothing to lose. Still up at the end of the day. So,
Connor, do you think you've shook off this boring title that you've picked up throughout the season? If we have a look here, reaction says, yeah, apparently we're really boring, don't score much. And then you can see there the score lines that have happened over the last 4 months, 5 against Plymouth, against QPR, of course, at the weekend. Is that? Do you think we've got rid of that kind of semi-put down on Burnley?
Well, I'd like to think so, but again, I mean, it seems to be every single week. Whenever we beat an opposition, we're called boring. We use the dark arts every time. So I don't think we really shrugged it off because there are still salty fans out there. But I've shrugged it off now because back Scotty P, and he's not a boring manager at all, is he? But no, I personally don't. I personally think we have shrugged it off. But there are many salty fans out there who still do call us boring. Boring every week.
Right, we have to talk about one very special player this week. Dan is back. He tweeted himself saying, "What a feeling! It's been a journey, but so happy to be back with the team." 434 days. Incredible. Thank you to all the away fans for the reception today and everyone involved at Burnley. And some away support, by the way, that didn't stop singing from minute 1 to minute 90. So if you were there, well done for making Loftus Road bounce. Dan, let's talk Rambo.
Yeah, it was good to see him back, wasn't it? I think I can't remember exactly what minute he came on, but he came on and he had a hand in one of the, I think, Sarmiento's second, the fifth goal. He was involved in that. He went in for a challenge, it bounced out wide, and then the ball comes in. He got a very bad injury when we were playing in the Premier League. He was showing quite a lot of promise. He was just fitting into the team then, and it's been such a long journey back. I've watched the documentary that's on YouTube. I don't know if you guys have seen it too. And there was an episode designated to him and his recovery, and it sounds like he's been through the mill as far as professional footballers go through the mill, but he's been to the proverbial hell and back with it, and to see him get back on the pitch. Get through, I don't know, 20 minutes, whatever he played. It was fantastic to see, and you take your allegiances aside, you don't want to see any footballer go through, or any person really go through an injury which they've sustained at work, and it puts them out of action forever. And I'm so glad to see him back. And he seemed genuinely thrilled to be back on the pitch. He's been playing for the under-21s. He's been getting game time here and there. So to see him back in the team, it was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely well said, Jordan.
Well, I know Dan would never speak about Brownhill like that, but
I would if he were injured.
I thought it were good. Nice little reception for him. I think to say that we haven't seen masses of him yet within Burnley colours, there is a player there, definitely. We saw from his time at Middlesbrough that there's something to be really worked on, and the fact he's stuck with us as much as we've stuck with him. Let's give him a crack at the whip in the Premier League. Okay, now with the player we've got, he's probably not starting every week, but a developing, young talent. Let's even look at it from a side of it could be worth a few eventually. But yeah, no, he's got the capability, and it's that some people forget when they say, "Oh, well, it's Aaron Ramsey. What's he actually done?" Well, if you want to take anything from his older brother, which I think it's his older brother, if he's going to turn out to be 3/4 of the player of Jacob, he'll be fantastic.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay. Coming up in a minute, we're going to ask these three about their hopes for the summer and what wishes they want, including what colour should the away kit be next season. Really important question. Get their views on that. Also, what's been the favourite home game this season as we, of course, wave goodbye to Turf Moor in the Championship for a bit. Before that, though, Connor, this weekend it was confirmed that Ipswich are now relegated, which means for the second year running, all three teams that have gone up are coming straight back down. And Ipswich in particular, having spent £150 million in trying to stay up. Does that at all kind of worry you that even a team spending that amount of money, haven't come close to staying up, have gone down with a deficit of 18 points?
Well, yeah, but at the end of the day, that's the reality of the Premier League now. That's the reality of modern football. These little teams are trying to spend so much and they just cannot get nowhere unless you spend like 300 million quid. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I do think with the team we've got, if we keep most of it, keep the core of it, and I think Scott's learned from his previous time, I think we're going to be the best out of the three to go up, and that might just be we're 10 points off safety rather than 20 points off safety. But it's the sad reality, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, do you think, Dan, because you've been there a year ago or so, you've got a manager that's done it before, which Ipswich obviously didn't have, you've got a better chance of staying up than teams like Ipswich and Leicester have? Do you think you've got more resources? I don't mean financial resources, but you've got more human resources that give you a better chance?
Yeah, I certainly do. I think our style at the moment, actually, we've talked about this in the past. It lends itself for survival. You look at when we went up to, not obviously the last time we went up under Company, he tried to keep the same style of football. You're always going to get battered. You look at what them three have done, Southampton trying to play it out from the back, all this kind of nonsense, and they're just getting flattened every week. Whereas we've been built on a solid foundation of, you can't score against us. No one scored 2 goals against us this season. There's only 14 teams scored against us. So if you go with that foundation and you build upon that, even if you get 38 draws, you stay up on current maths, So I think we are better equipped with the style of play, the mentality that we've got, the work ethic that we've got. My only concern is are we going to keep the players or are we going to add to it? We do need to add to it, and we'll probably move on to that when we ask about what's going on in the summer. But are we going to be able to bring in those players? Because the team as it is won't stay up. It needs additions, certainly up front. But the other side to it is you've just seen Trafford, CJ, Egan Riley, and Steve have all been named in the team of the year. And there'll be people flying around who'll wave cash at them. And, money talks. So that's my concern. But I think of all of us, Leeds, and whoever else, I think we are in a better position football-wise to stay up than potentially the three that are coming down or those that come up with us.
John, do you see the point of view from some Burnley fans that have said, look, if it just means next season I'm going to be battered by 5-0 to Newcastle and 7-0 to Chelsea each week, I'd sooner just stay here and just enjoy my football. Do you understand some fans kind of saying that actually football is about experiences and enjoying it? It's not going to be much fun watching Burnley get absolutely raped every game next season.
Yeah, no, I do understand it, but they've also, and within the greatest respect, they've also got to understand that a football club is a business, and you're going to earn so much more money going up and coming back down than you are just coasting in the Championship. I mean, look at your Championship teams that are coasters. There's, they're not really that well run. They can't really bring anyone in. They're certainly not getting this type of advertisement we are nowadays. With your Visit Detroit and branching out into America. So I think if we were to yo-yo for a few years, I think financially not even financially, we'd be better off anyway because there's more funds being pumped back into the club, maybe to up the quality of where we train or up personnel, or it's always the thing in it. When you get relegated, people lose jobs. So surely being at that top spot means that you have the funds available to yourself to be able to put more people and personnel within the roles that maybe give you more of a fighting chance. I mean, if you look at Brighton, they're now worlds away, but at one point they wasn't, and they was yo-yoing, and they got the mixture right. So it's always there to be done, but So I do see where they're coming from. You'd much rather watch your team win every week for an experienced side, of course you would. But then you've also got to take yourself out and look at the business point of it, which that's what football is now. Whether we want to say it, like it or not, football is just all businesses, and you've got to accumulate that money somehow. And if that means going up and going back down, I'd much rather do that.
Okay, well said, all of you. Let us know in the comments what you think. We're asking you to look ahead to the summer now and giving you a wish each. In terms of, it could be anything here. It could be the pitch, the stadium, the under-21s, the training ground. What do we need to sort out between now and August when the season kicks off? First of all, what colours should the away kit be? Let's get that out of the way with B. Connor.
Oh, I reckon yellow. I reckon we'll go back classic. I love the yellow kits all the time. Man. I'm a sucker for a good yellow away kit. So yeah, for me, yellow.
All yellow or what, navy shorts or what?
Yellow with claret. So let's just go back a couple of years, go back to 2016 or something. Let's just go the years here.
Dan?
Let's go proper old school classic. The mid-90s, black and green halves. Oh. That's what we want. That's what the fans need back. Yeah, it were an awful kit, but let's do it. If people are going to call us boring, they're going to call us crap, they're going to call us this, that, the other. We may as well have a god-awful away kit as well. Right. Green and black halves. Everybody wants it. Bring it back, Alan. Listen to your fans.
Jordan?
I am not that fan. But yeah, no, I think I really like this season's away kit with the all black. When they step out, especially on a nice sunny day, and it's all black and just a hint of another colour, but not too much, like they did with this season's kit, I'd go for all that again because there's just something about it, the look of it. It's like, I don't know, it's like the big team walking out. It's like the All Blacks and New Zealanders. I don't know. It just gives me a weird feeling and I like it.
So you say you're not that fan, but you want black with a hint of another colour, which is
almost no. You said half and half. You said half and half. I don't want to walk out looking like
a hint of green.
I don't want to walk out looking like a tin of peas that are going out today. I never said that.
Right, that's the important question out of the way with. Right, let's get into the summer then. Dan, one thing, please, that you want the club to sort out.
I'm sure the others will have much more interesting points than this, but with the rumour mill flying around as it is, with Ange Postecoglou being sacked in the summer and X, Y, and Z, I don't know what the status is. And he's, when he's been interviewed, he's kind of distanced himself. But just to have that solidity with Parker, I know people are saying, he's had a rubbish form in the Premiership. I would like just to make sure that he stays and that we have that continuity going in. People will say he's boring. People will say he's negative. People will say this, that, the other. If we win on Saturday, we are 1 point less than the almighty footballing god that was Vincent Kompany. Now, that sounds like I'm being derogatory to Vincent. He was great. Don't get me wrong. We still won the championship. It was brilliant. But we'll be 1 point worse off. He's not a bad manager. He's a good manager. He's got a group togetherness, which seemed to be lacking certainly in the Premier League with Vincent. So that's for me. I just want to keep him. There's no suggestion he's going to go, but the rumours are starting to fly now. Tottenham, he's ex-Tottenham. He's got links there. So let's just keep him where he is and give him a crack.
Okay. Connor?
Let's look at the list there. I think what we've been missing all season really is it's transfers, but whatever. Is a proper goal scorer, and I think we've been missing that for a long time since Chris Wood left. And I think you'd go for somebody like a Josh Sargent, who was named in the Team of the Year. That's my ideal target. But just any sort of goal scorer in the Premier League level or high-end Championship, because I think we've been crying out for one for a lot of years.
Good shout. Cheers, Connor. Jordan?
So is this like a wish? So I have something I can wish for.
What does the club need to prioritise in the summer?
All right. Well, I'm going to say send Blackburn to League Two, right? No, I completely agree with Connor. I think if I had one wish, it'd be an out-and-out striker, someone who's goal hungry, not trying to put square pegs in round holes kind of thing. I know it has worked this season. I don't want to bang on about it, but that again from Connor, Josh Sargent is a shout. He's got Premier League experience, so if we could get an out-and-out striker, not a number 10 playing as a number 9, none of that nonsense. Let's get an out-and-out striker, someone who's playing on the shoulder, someone who's running in behind, someone who's quick, and has that initiative to find the back of the net when all hope looked lost from the outcome of a passive play.
Cool. Okay. Right, get it done. You've heard it here first, Mr. Pace. Get on with it. Finally, what's been your favourite home game this season? Put in the comments. We did away games last week. Now we're doing what's been our favourite match at the Turf. Connor, kick this one off. What's been the one that sticks in your mind?
I think it's going to be Luton 4-0. I think it was just a great day. We saw Barnes almost sky a shot and it's gone in. So it was great celebrations at the end there, and I thought it was just a successful day and everything. Nothing went wrong that game at all. So, yeah, Luton 4-0 for me.
Thank you. Jordan?
For me, it had to be Portsmouth, the 2-1, because when we went 1-0 down and then we did eventually come back, because it's more of a feelings more than anything, because we'd just been battered all season in Premier League, and then to get that 2-1 and to nick it and have something that I haven't felt for so long. And I just remember being buzzed all weekend thinking, we took victory from the jaws of a loss, so it's got to be Portsmouth 2-1 for me.
Dan?
I think probably one of the more enjoyable games was Sheff Wednesday. We won 4-0. Benson scores a screamer, which was Jordan's goal of the season. It was a comfortable match. It was an enjoyable watch, and there was some great entertainment on board. So I think there was not an awful lot riding on it in the context of the season at that particular time. So emotions weren't over great and what have you, but it was just a great game and some quality football on show, and I really enjoyed it. So I'd go Sheff Wednesday at home.
Yeah, it's probably one of my favourite Friday night games to watch as well, as a neutral anyway. I certainly enjoyed it. I think the atmosphere was great that night. Super. Right. Thank you. That concludes our penultimate one. One more record to do. Join us for that next week as we look back on the whole of the season. And then we wave adios to these three for the summer. So do join us for that one. If you want to shout out next week, drop it in the comments below. We'll certainly give you that as well. We're desperately trying to get Josh on for next week.
Come on, oh, he has to. Yes, I'm going to speak to my boss, right? I'm going to speak to my boss because my boss, we work close with Burnley Football Club. I'm going to say, look, if you ever do anything for me, just do me this one favour.
He doesn't have to say anything. He's just to sit here and listen to Dan apologise.
We don't need him. We don't need busy.
I just wanted to stare at you. Just even 30 seconds, just stare at you. Just hear this close to the screen. Like, go on, Dan. Repeat.
He's a busy man retweeting the mistakes in Bucky's tweets saying he got 2 assists instead of 1. He's a very busy man. You don't need, come on, Josh. Just have a day off. It's right.
No, come on, Josh. Come on.
See you next week. Fingers crossed.